All right, so it's time for the testimonial of batch two. It's been a pleasure to go through an intensive 2 week training with batch two. It was hectic. You all worked hard. You all worked hard, and I'm super proud of what you've achieved. All right, so at this point, let's just quickly take some testimonials. And testimonials are to show people what is really happening here, so that we can help people permanently avoid floating loss. All right, let's start with you, Mr. George.
Okay, good evening, coach. Good evening, friends and fellow students. um, Starting from the very beginning, Royal Q, the person I was before now, was more of a copy and paste individual. I was just doing what I was instructed to do, and that has stopped because I can tell you that for a very long time now, I have not taken any of the signals out there because one way or the other, without analysis, it always lands you in floating losses. So, looking at the price that I've had to pay for this training, it is actually not anything close to the training I got. If I had to wait, it was just a giveaway, and we took advantage of it. And I want to say also at this point that the quality of training that we have received in the 2 weeks plus that has gone past has been exquisite. I have looked through the internet and I have not been able to see anyone, white or black, that have been able to deliver the type, quality, depth, and personal relationship that we have gotten from you, Coach Namdi. And if I was to take this again, I would not hesitate to pay a whole lot more to do it again. It was a very nice session. And if I want to talk about floating losses, I don't think, considering all that we have been taught about going into a trade and setting your stop loss and knowing when you are going to exit the trade, I don't think I'll get into any trade and lose anything more than 2-3%. And to be a good trader, you have to be able to take losses. There's no emotions about it. I'm a businessman already and I know how to take losses. I just take the losses and I move on. So I don't know whether there's anything I have not yet addressed, but I'm sure some of my colleagues will address them, and I really stand by what they are going to say. Thank you very much, Coach Namdi.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. George. And it's always a pleasure to work with you. And we'll keep hitting on all the points over the next 6 months because this is a 6 months coaching program. Thank you very much, sir. All right.
You're welcome, sir.
Let's get to Mr. Yeah, Madam Lydia, go ahead.
Good evening, Coach Nandi and fellow colleagues on this journey. I'm someone who seeks knowledge. I've got a very curious, insatiable brain. And out there was just a lot of information and often confusing. And you try it, and like my previous colleague said, you try what they said, it doesn't work, you get frustrated. The floating losses were becoming frustrating to the point that I got to a point I didn't want to trade anymore. And I stumbled across Coach Nandi's channel, again looking for it. And everything he was posting out there, they were short, precise, and they were working. And when he advertised this course, I reached out to Coach Nandi, and he can testify that I didn't even argue the price. Because if you know that time is money, and I joined the business in February, and seeing what I've made and what I've known this week, it's been a game changer. I mean, I've placed like 10 trades And I think it was only one that lasted more than 4 days in the 2 weeks, despite everything that was going on. And that's a testament to the quality you get with Coach Namdi. He's very professional. He personalizes what he does. He takes feedback, which is not something you find in a lot of people who are coaches. And it shows his humility as a leader. And if I was to do this course again, I'm more than happy to pay for it. And I just want to say thank you. And I look forward to what I'm going to do with the knowledge I've gained. And I know it's a dynamic market, therefore the knowledge is equally dynamic. But we're with you all the way, Coach, and thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. I appreciate your presence. And that's a valid point you made there. With the whole war going on and the market being messed up, we're still making money. Didn't even think of that. Think of it that way. Amazing. Thank you very much, Ma. All right, let's listen to Mr. Uzoloki.
Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, Coach Namde.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, this is quite an interesting moment. I want to really, first of all, appreciate God for such an opportunity and appreciate my upline, the man that introduced me to the business of the Royal Q business. In fact, it has been a great journey, and for me to come across this opportunity to be part of this training, I want to first of all start by saying that the person I was before this training, I was completely a dependent individual, in the sense that I depends on what I will receive from the platform. Signal that will be sent into the platforms where I was, and most of the time, even when I picked that signal at the very point it was sent, and at the end of the day, I will go home complaining. In fact, as I'm talking, I have about 10 trades that is on a very high floating loss. And as at this very moment, I am just happy that I am no longer looking at any signal being sent on the platform. I am no longer looking at it. Even till the best person so far, we could think of that normally send signals and to the platform. I don't look at their signals again, because I know and I am very much convinced that what I've gotten from this training, for me to make use of it, make my electoral analysis and take up my trades, I will definitely go home with a good profit. And all the while, from when we started, Coach Namde advised us, don't trade, just hold on. Let's go into this training. After the training, you can now go ahead. Then after some few of the training, we now started. And I tell you, since that time till date, in fact, I can even say that what I've made since I started this journey since June till last date of September, what I've made within the 1st of October till now, in fact, I've made almost half of what I've made all this while. So I am so much happy about that. And if we are talking about the amount paid, the value gotten, is way, way, way far from the amount we paid. In fact, if I am to take it again, I wouldn't even look at whatever it will cost. I will take it. And I am advising anybody and everybody, please, as we are going into this market, bringing people, we will advise them, whatever it will take them to go into training, to acquire the skill, let them do that, because that is the way to go. And presently, I know and I am sure that with this, I can just say that maybe I will not say that there won't be floating loss again, but I am not sure that floating loss has any power over my trades again. So whatever floating loss we do, it will just be on a minimum. And I am sure that I have the tactics to, to cut it off on a very good time. I so much appreciate Coach Nnamdi. He's a very, in fact, the man that is very much good, very, very, I say, excellent in what he's doing. He's an excellent teacher, a man with a heart of gold. He can accommodate or tolerate any kind of person. In fact, he's a teacher to the core. And I so much bless God for his life. And I know that what he's doing, he's actually not doing it for himself or for only us. He's doing it for the entire world. Because with what he's doing here, the whole world will know that Royal Q business is the business of the day. Thank you so much, and may God bless every one of us. Thank you. Thank you again.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ozoloke. And yes, all those past floating losses, be patient with them, they will come out. And once they do, money in the bank. And I'm really proud at the zeal you've put into the training and the results you're getting. All right, so let's go to Madam Bisi. I know you're not feeling too well, but just you can chip in so that you can. Yeah.
Okay, good evening, Coach. Good
Yes.
evening, everybody. I'm so sorry, my voice might not sound as excited as I normally would be. I'm running a high temperature. But I will admit I was not particularly a greenhorn to trading. And that's because I actually learned how to trade as far back as 2017. But I must admit I made money and I lost all that money within a day. I think there was a time I made up to about $13,000 and I lost everything in one day. That was when I realized that most of what I was doing was not really trading, but it was more of luck. And I said no more to trading, and I abandoned everything about trading. So last year, when I was introduced to Royal Q, hearing the trade sport, I was quite excited because it meant as long as I'm patient, I can't lose money, and I joined. I said I was quite happy with the copy and paste and the settings that we were given because it simply meant I didn't really have to really do much. Somebody has done the work and all I'm doing was copy and paste. But I realized I was not satisfied because it meant I couldn't take trades. I couldn't read the charts myself. And I had to depend on the magnanimity of the person dropping the signals. So I decided, no, this is not. And I realized that I had so much floating loss, and I thought if it had been for me, I would have lost. And I decided, okay, how do we go about it? Then my downline, Mr. George Ramon, was actually the one that told me about this class and said I should join. Initially, I didn't want to because I thought I should be able to sort out myself with the previous knowledge that I had of Forex trading. But he was able to convince me and I joined. And I was shocked. What I discovered having joined this training, it was like I was just a bloody idiot in 2017. The things I found challenging then that I didn't understand, Coach Namdi broke it down so easy. And I just thought, oh, if I had had somebody like him back then, explaining the concept the way he's explained it, I wouldn't have had any problem. Although I struggled at the beginning of this training because, I mean, my brain was wired in a particular way. And one thing he kept saying to me was to open my brain. So when I decided, okay, fine, let me do as if I've never had anything about all this concept. And when started with the support and resistance, honestly, I could not believe it was the same support and resistance that I thought I learned in 2017. It was broken down so easily. And I mean, I couldn't even relate the two. Because back then, when I thought I had learned how to trade, I didn't even understand the concept of support and resistance. So when he dropped it in this video, I remember there was a time I even posted, I don't like support and resistance. But honestly, he explained it so simple. It's as simple as ABC. And then he went on to trend lines and channels. I was shocked. Now, you mean this is all what I had a brain block for such a long time. And I must admit, all the trades I've taken since we started this training, I took them myself, and not once did I record any floating loss. I didn't. Yes, I will still need to build, all of us still need to build more confidence to go in at the time we think, yes, everything we have analyzed and is good. Because sometimes you find out that you don't go in, and 3 hours down the line, you find out that, oh, if you had gone in, you would have profited so much. But I won't deny it. I'm really, really pleased. I feel more confident, so much that somebody is telling me I should come and teach him all this. And I said, this is to come and teach. Wow, that's fantastic. Another thing I would say helped again, I made a comment on the platform. I said, the day Coach Namdi posted an audio and he showed the picture of himself. I remember I said something like, oh, Coach Namdi looks as gentle as his voice sounds. I would like to say he is a natural leader. He's a born teacher. He's very, very patient. He understands, it's not easy training adults, because we are so opinionated, we are so fixed in our views and what we do. And despite us coming from different backgrounds, he handled each and every one of us very well. When we ask questions, sometimes I know the questions irritate him and he feels like breaking our heads and just finding this thing in it. But by the time he goes through it, you find out that there is a way he explains it, and you realize he's practically petting you to understand. So I really, really appreciate it, Coach Namdi. I am so grateful. If anybody asks me, would I recommend this? In fact, there was a particular downline of mine. I said he should join. He said no. I'm going to wire him to join. And I'll tell him that if he doesn't join, he shouldn't ask me any question until he goes through this training. It's been fantastic. It's been a fantastic 2 weeks training. I'm really, really grateful. Coach Namdi, God bless you. I really, really appreciate you. And thank you for all that you have done. Thank you for bringing me out from the level of ignorance and the level of trading darkness to the light of trading. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Ma, and thanks for doing this session, or despite the, you're being a little down under the weather. Thank you very much. All right, so let's listen to Mr. Richard Fogo.
All right. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Coach. today's evening, I'm so glad. Difficult to show or to express myself how happy I am. But what I just want to say is that I'm so happy. I'm a newbie in trading, though at a point in time, I joined a class concerning trading. I never saw anything of practical. Okay. Just someone talking. And so it was all like, is that how trading look like? Then I don't think I can go into it because talking actually never helped me. I'm the type that when you practically do things, it helps me to grab what you are doing better. And so simply what I want to say is that a lot of things you have said, I've grabbed them because it was practical to me. Most especially those that I was fortunate to partake in those trainings. Royal Q, before we started, I said, I will be happy and glad that I can set a strategy for myself. And you had that time and it took us through. I got it all right. This training, actually, I have to use it together with Royal Q trading boat. And with that settings that you taught me, I am able to link the two together. Royal Q boats settings and the chart training that you just gave to us. I'm able to link the two together. So now I can talk about margin calls in Royal Q boats, looking at charts for each asset that I am interested in trading, that I can link the two together and take a trade, and a trade that will not actually lead me to floating loss. When it has to do with the amount that we paid for, it works, it's 100,000%. Okay, it worth it 100,000%. I know this amount has taken me a long way as a newbie. Now, I am interested in teaching others. That is me. I'm always interested in teaching others. And as far as I will want to help people to come into trading, most especially using Royal Q boats, I'm interested in teaching them how they will use the boats and how they can also, use the charts for the various assets together with the Royal Q boat to put up trades that will not actually go into floating lots. So I am so happy that you had time for my colleagues and myself, and I'm so grateful. I know that from now, a lot of trades are there. Me, I haven't actually put up any trade since we started because at the initial stage, you said until the 2 weeks is over, you wouldn't want us to put up any trade. I just stuck to that. And so I haven't taken any trade, but I know that henceforth, anytime I take a trade, I will not more go into floating loss. Okay, unless probably I just took the trade without doing what is expected of me. What is it that is expected of me? What is expected of me is the training you just gave to me. Okay, if I should follow that, I know I will never go into floating loss. If I should go into floating loss, I'm not sure it will take me 3 to 4 days to come out from that floating loss. I wouldn't even sit and wait because I know when to enter and when to exit any trade. And so that is to say is goodbye to floating loss.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it so much. May God continue to bless you, Coach. And lastly, those areas that I am not so much clear with. I heard you saying you will still be, with us and ready to give assistance to us. So any point in time, should I forget or I have not gotten it clear, I'll still fall onto you for your assistance. I know as far as this is concerned, for teaching and learning will never have an end time, because as far as we are going, new things will evolve that we will need to know and to learn about. Thank you very much. I appreciate so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Research. Absolutely. And I must stress this again. The first 2 weeks is an intensive training program. Now, the 6 months coaching course is to make sure that every component of that 2 weeks is internalized and you become capable of even explaining it to anyone. And we're going to introduce new concepts along the way. But first, making sure that the first things are internalized. So absolutely, that's what's going to happen. All right, let's listen to Mr. Gabriel.
Thank you, Coach. Good evening, everyone. Before I joined the training, I had experienced a very bad floating loss, and I was considering stopping trading. But my upline one time recommended one of Coach Namdi's videos. I think it was on the TGS strategy, and I liked the simple but straightforward way he explained things. The second time, I happened to be looking through the videos on his channel, and I came across the goodbye floating loss, those first videos, and Coach Namdi was the first coach I had say something that no other coach of Royal Q had said, that when you'd rather cut your losses than be in losses for like over 3 months. So when I heard of this coaching, I was like, you know what, I will pay any amount of money for the knowledge this man has. So I harassed my uplines, and I believe they talked to Coach Namdi, and he contacted me, and I paid. I think it was like about 2 days later, and I joined. When I joined, I had I wasn't sure. I wasn't confident in my trades, my own trades. So I used to do signals from other people, and they would kind of like they would take long to deliver. Sometimes 3 to 4 days, sometimes 5 to 6, depending on where I got them from. And even when I joined the program, I used to ask Coach Namdi for signals, and and I remember what he told me was that you're going to become a signal generating. You're going to become. After this training, you're going to become a signal generator. And in my mind, I had my doubts. I stopped. So anyway, I stopped trading for, I think, 1 week. That first week that coach was taking us through. But then I think the second week, when he gave us the assignment of the 30 trades we are supposed to do, I couldn't help, because after just, I think it was, I set my first 10 trades, and all of them took less than 5 hours. So I was like, why don't I put in some small amount of money and see how it does? And my returns were overwhelming. And so I began to get confidence and to develop my own signals. And I also learned from coach how to apportion your, should I say, margin calls, so that they can bear the brunt in case the market goes against you. So with all that knowledge and the simplicity with which he explained, with which he explained it, I got the confidence to, to attack the market. And now I'm no longer a market victim. I am instead a market predator. I'm chopping the market east, left, and center. As long as I have a minute, I chop. Even before this class, I chopped 5%, but I just had to stop because I wanted to focus on and listen to coach. Coach, you have been an enormous blessing, and I think the $100 that I paid is even too little. I believe this training is worth even more. So for those out there who are debating whether to join or not, I tell you, jump on the bandwagon before coach closes the doors and says, you know what, because you will not do this forever. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. George. And I would say, Mr. Gabriel, I would say, yeah, from Uganda, right? And I was looking at
Yes, coach.
I was looking at the first chat you had. The first thing is, hi, I'd like to sign up for the Goodbye Floating Loss class. That's the first. No questions, no back and forth. So extraordinary. And I'm really happy that you're chopping. The chopping, you're going to finish the market. Even the blockchain will start looking for you. Thank you very much. All right, let's listen to Isobet. And yeah, Isobet, you can unmute yourself if you're close to your device. All right, so while we wait for Isobet, then let's hear from. All right, Isobet, are you ready?
Thank you so much, Coach Nnamdi. This training has been so powerful, so transformative for me as a person. I remember the first session we had, you brought a chart which was blank and said, if somebody gave us this chart, what can we do with it? Or how are we going to analyze it? At that point, I was very, very empty. I have been in ReaQ for several years. Probably I dropped out because of floating loss, and I came back. I could do little or nothing with the chart, but spending 2 weeks with you, I can do significant things now with that same blank chart which you gave me on the first day. So thank you for this wonderful transformation. I am really, really, really grateful. If I had a different or a better word for thank you, I would have used it. Just not say ordinary thank you. My expectations, like I mentioned on the first day, have been met partly, but I know that the 25%, which is still a bit cloudy, will be cleared as we continue with our coaching session. I must also thank you through this training for bringing me to a bigger family of traders, because here in the house, I've also been able to identify other persons who are ahead of me, who will be significant in contributing towards my attaining higher levels, which is my aspiration as far as trading is concerned, because I want to be a lifelong trainer, a trader with ReaQ. I don't intend to leave ReaQ again for any Ponzi scheme. The only challenge was floating loss, and now there is a breakthrough as far as floating loss is concerned. You took us through the modules like Madam BC already mentioned. So those modules are there with me now, looking at, if I get the chart now, I will check all the necessary parameters and then see the TSI index and be able to confidently enter my trade. Thank you again and again and again. I am very, very, very grateful for this training. In fact, I have been recommending this training to my downlines and other persons, but there is something, I don't know whether people think sometimes it is just easy to get into a space and make money without learning. Some of us went to school, spent several years in school, and at the end of the day, we have certificates which are not useful. But you come to something that you have skill, which you acquire, which has immediacy in terms of application. And then when you encourage people, they tend to shy away or think that they shouldn't commit themselves to it. Thank you so, so much. It has been a wonderful, wonderful, and very excellent learning moment. I am still very happy. I remain indebted to you, and I want to continue learning with you. In fact, you are a father in this business of trading. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you very much, Isabel. And I want to thank you for tolerating me, managing me in the moments when I lose it and when I compose myself. Thank you very much for bearing with me. And the patience you also showed in learning from Cameroon there. It's wonderful. And not to worry, over the next 6 months, we're going to be hitting on all those points again and again and again. And where you're going to, at the end of 6 months, you'll be amazed at the level of extra knowledge and enhancement to trading capabilities that you're going to get. The first 2 weeks is just the beginning, and I crashed it to make sure you have all the foundation you need so that when we start going forward, you will achieve greater things. And let me say here that because you have been trained in this goodbye to floating loss, when you are confident enough, you will activate futures and you will no more be waiting for bull run to make money. When it's a bear run, you'll be making so much money. All right. Thank you very much. All right, let's get now to Demi. Demi, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, and greetings, Coach Nnamdi, and fellow teammates and team members. Good evening and greetings, everyone. Depends on where you are listening to me from. Yes, I will start by appreciating and saying thank you so much. In fact, if my body is filled with mouth, it's not enough to say thank you to Coach Nnamdi. It's it's quite amazing. Yes, I will start by saying where myself and Coach Nnamdi, where we are coming from. I've known Coach Nnamdi for a while now. From the Team Energy squad. Yes, that's where Royal Q. Having to join Royal Q since the year 2021, thereabouts. We started the journey of Royal Q and all that, but it has been ups and downs. It has been floating losses. It has been actually a bad experience, because we never knew nothing. It was after this training, actually, I knew that, I was just joking. I was just playing, from beginning, from the scratch. I never knew nothing, and even when we started with this learning, and yes, funny enough, it was my trading view account that was used for the illustration or the demo there, and Coach Nnamdi, if you remember, Hiking Hashi was the tool that I knew on Trading View. Then in I think 2021, 22, I just put the candle there and all that, and I didn't know, I didn't know much. I don't know how to use the Trading View actually, So comparing that with what I know now. Now I saw the caption "Bye bye to floating loss." Now, floating loss has been one of my fears, You know, I have this passion for trading, you know, but the fear of floating loss is the beginning of wisdom. You know, for those who have been synced in floating loss, you understand what I'm saying. When you come with much zeal and eagerness to trade, yes, you know, you just jump into the market. All I knew then was to jump into the market, you know, but I didn't know how to jump out of the you know, the market. So it always result to floating loss. You introduce you know, some small capital that you manage to put together, and you know, you manage to trade 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. You know, when market is okay, going well, and before you know it, you enter floating loss for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you know, 4 months, and even more. You know, so I was you know, so I approached Coach Nnamdi, you know, when I saw the, you know, I was seeing the caption, I was seeing the batch one, you know, I didn't, I said, you know, I was still contemplating, you know, I've known Coach Nnamdi for a while now. So what is there, you know, what is there? And I will say that later, you know, to those that are underrating this training because of the too much familiarity. Yes, a lot, like somebody in a, you know, asked me that, why would Coach Nnamdi be, you know, requesting or asking for money for training for somebody that is under his structure, you know, and, you know, I remember that, you know, so yes, everybody's entitled to his or her opinion, though, you know, so, but, you know, if you, I will say at the end of this comment that if you have that mindset or mentality, you know, it is better you just throw it, you just put it down. Yes, you know, even the Bible says that Jesus was not known in his hometown where he was born. In Bethlehem, Judah, he was not known, you know, just to chip in that, you know, he was not known, so he could not perform a lot of miracles there. Yes, that one is, you know, but if you love yourself and if you will want to go forward with knowledge and with trading, you better, you know, I will recommend that you know, take this course. Anytime you wake up is your morning. Yes, some people, you know, were privileged to get it for $75. You know, me, I got it for $100. You know, and the next badge 150, and going forward. You know, so anytime you wake up, if you wake up at it for $500, take it. That is my recommendation for you because it's worth more than that. It's something that, you know, knowledge is power, like the Englishman says. You know, you have that knowledge, you have the power, you have the boldness. Myself, you know, I have the confidence I have now by virtue of this training, you know, is that I can approach the market with confidence. I know when to enter. When I want to enter, I just hold my scan in my right hand and I just enter the market just to chop the market, you know, like we, you know, so yes, you know, so, and yeah, I can tell you, Coach Nnamdi happened to be my I happen to be his direct downline, you know, so I don't need to ask him. I know he'll be seeing some evidences, you know, some of my trade results from the back office or the back end, you know, so yes, I had knowledge of yeah, there are a lot of free things. If you're on the energy team, there are a lot of free trainings that is there. You know, the TGS, Top Gainer Strategy. We're thanking God for Top Gainer Strategy, you know, but we never knew that there's something more. We're thanking God for Bolinga Band. We're thanking God for KDJ. That was all I knew before now. Yes, but so I would just enter the market, but I wouldn't know when to jump out of the market. So it always results to floating loss bets. So now I know I just go to my tools, I go to TradingView, and yeah, you know, I look at the markets, compare, you know, any coin I want to trade, I look at it, you know, I do my analysis and I, you know when to exit. Yes, I can tell you, I mean, Coach Nnamdi can say that there are most times I take trades a day. What is a day? Maybe like if the market is moving 3-4 hours, maybe in the morning to some, you know, I take trades of over 35 trades, close to 40 trades, you know, and most of them closing maybe maximum of 30 minutes because I trade the top gainers coin, you know, and, you know, the most times out of that 35 trades, just 2 or 3, maybe when BTC decides to put head down, you see the trade, you know, I'll just look at the market and also I can just exit, maybe taking a minimal loss of maybe 2%, 3%, like that. So that's the much. That is who I am now. And how well I've conquered my greatest fear, the floating loss. So I want to encourage one more time. I want to encourage everyone, who is listening to my voice. If you are still contemplating or you are in the structure, now there's structure inside structure. If you're in Coach Nambi's team and structure, now you need to enroll so that you will know what structure means inside structure. So because the structure, the market structure will humble you. That time will come when the market structure will humble you if you don't seek for knowledge or learning to learn the nitty-gritty of the trading market. Now, I will say here before I close on this one, yeah, I'd always have the passion to build the business, but the fear of it's when I try to build and people that I try to talk to about Royal Q. I try to promote Royal Q, and people want to see results. Let's see your results. You say this thing is working, and let's see your results. So it has been a limiting factor to me. So, but now I can tell you categorically and confidently that, oh, yeah, by the time I am done, this is just 2 weeks, and we still have 2 weeks intensive. We still have the other months to go. Yes, practice makes perfect or permanent, like my coach usually said. So I know that before, even now, even as I am now, I have that boldness to start promoting the business, and I will give you my word that, I'm not just promoting this business. I'm here to guide you, hold you by your hand, give you signals, teach you how to go about this thing, give you signals. And when you see those signals selling off in profit, when you see yourself making profit, they won't tell you to build, they won't tell you to build. So I want to thank you again and again and again, Coach Nnamdi, for your patience, for your resilience, for your simplicity, and for everything. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Demi. Now, what makes your own interesting is because you're in my structure, and I get the attitude from people in the structure. But let me ask you this question, and I know we've discussed this earlier. If somebody doesn't pay for
Yes,
this
sir.
course, can they really capture everything within that period? If somebody doesn't pay that money,
At all. In fact, it's a fact. The fact or the statement, those who pay attention is a fact. Before now, I never showed up. Before I paid for this training, I never showed up in the meetings. Yes, I was discouraged by floating loss, fine and good. But I didn't know all the time I joined meeting, it's always prospect meeting and all that. Sometimes members only meeting, and what I see there is just the superficial. Floating loss they are still there.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that zeal so I don't show up. I've not been showing up in the meetings. Yeah, I have other but since I paid, for the training, and I told myself, oh, I listened to the testimony shared of the first batch from the first batch. And I told myself, wow, I'm going to get more, into this, so I sacrificed, I had to put things aside. I have to multitask. I made sure. And funny enough, my village people never wanted me to have access to these trainings because I couldn't, I couldn't receive, I was not able to open the file sent to me like others.
Yeah.
I've tried all I could and it's not going through, but Coach Nnamdi encouraged me that, and anytime I need any clarification, I should just get to him. I should send a DM or chat him up. And, I have that assurance, and confidence. And since then, so I can say it again and again. If I have never paid for it, I wouldn't have.
And I remember
You,
that
sir.
time you were telling me you want to pay half the price. I said, no way. I had you were saying about your direct downline. I said, no way. And the reason is when that commitment, it triggers something in your brain that tells you, man, I have
Exactly.
to get this thing. And so it's super powerful. But let me ask you one more question. And
Yes, sir.
maybe I'll get feedback from two people on this. With the training we've gotten, how much percentage do you think a person can make in a month consistently for life?
Wow. How do I calculate that? I think You know, I think the consistently someone can make one can make let me put it this way. I'm trying to see for myself with a small capital of like $300, $400 that I'm trading with 400 thereabouts.
Coach, one can
I
make
make
70%
I make
consistently.
yes, for myself I can make over 100%. You know, with
And say
the
it
trades
now.
the trades I take over 100%, 150%. You know, but averagely, yes, averagely you can make over 15%, 50%. And so somebody that taking this training and you just starting practicing, you can make 50% and over
Absolutely.
on a monthly basis.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Thank you. So let me ask Mr. George. Mr. George has been chopping the market. Mr. George, how much percentage do you think a person can make? You don't have to be perfect in a month compared to your capital, irrespective of the capital. How much percentage can you make a month with the training you've gotten?
No matter the amount of money you put into this thing. I have a live what do you call it, colleague, Uzo, who has done close to 50% in the last, more than 50% in just the last 1 week. And I have seen that it is possible to do way over 50% every month, way over it.
Absolutely.
Even if you're a very, very busy person like me, you can.
Absolutely. So thank you very much. And so this is why I have to do this. Honestly, since 2021, I've done different things. We've lost money to Ponzi schemes. And I've seen Royal Q as the bomb. This is the final bus stop. The hindrance has always been lack of understanding of the market and lack of understanding of the bot. And those floating losses are the consequences. And I've come to hate floating losses with passion. And I made it part of my journey to eliminate it. So, I mean, I'm really proud that batch 1 and batch 2 are experiencing these huge results. Now, batch 3. Batch 3 is about the final batch for the Goodbye to Floating Loss campaign. So if you're watching this video or it gets to you at any time, just look at the WhatsApp group at the bottom of the comment in the description. Join that WhatsApp group and get in. This is the most affordable you are going to assess this level of information. It is the capability to look at the market and without indicators to milk the market with constant income in life-changing fashion. Thank you very much, everybody who is part of this, and I'm really proud. The beautiful thing about this is you are automatically a signal generator. So challenge yourself if you're not a V2 and create a team of 20 and deliver those results to them. You know, they are going to grow your business in the next 2-3 years. Where you're going to be with Royal Q will really astound you. Right. So thank you very much for being a part of this journey. I really appreciate you all. It's been a wonderful class, and I'm looking forward to having the final class, the final, group session starting in a few weeks' time. And please, if you have anyone who deserves this, get them on board, because this is our way to taking Royal Q beyond what anybody temporarily at this moment can see. Thank you very much, and God bless.
yeah, thank you so much, sir.